What's going on, YouTube? Trevor again. Wanted to follow up and do the 5 things I hate about my Lancer. Well, I don't necessarily hate, but don't like. We'll just say don't like. The first thing that I liked on my list last time I made a little list was the interior style. So I do like the simplicity of the interior style. However, any little dirt, any imperfection, any dust, any scuffs, scratches, marks, dents, you see them clear as day. The plastic paneling on the side is kind of like a rough, gritty plastic, and everything sticks to that. Dirt, grime, if someone spills any drinks, any sodas or anything like that, it shows up very easily. So that's one thing that I really don't like about my car specifically. I know the interiors are different through the different years. The second thing that I liked is the reliability. I don't really have any complaints about the reliability of my Lancer. So it's easy to work on. The only problem that I have is I have aftermarket body kit. Well, kind of. Aftermarket for my car, factory for an Evo. So I have a factory Evo body kit, and it sits a little lower. So I have to put my car on ramps if I want to do anything under my car. I'd have to borderline lift it off the ground to get anywhere near it, to do any sort of work. That's hard to do on my own because I don't have a lift. I bought pieces of wood from Home Depot and cut slats into them to use them like a ramp. So I made ramps of my own, because the factory ramps you can buy at like AutoZone or Home Depot for actual auto ramps, they don't fit my car. They didn't fit my factory bumper, and they sure won't fit the Evo bumper, which sits even lower. So I don't have suspension mods. I have factory height. So it's an issue. So I have to be very careful about where I'm going to do maintenance and what I'm going to be doing, not to mess something up, and so I would have to leave it there. So I guess that would be my maintenance concern. The third thing I don't like about my Lancer is the exterior. So right now, I have 3 colors on my car. I have the red body, which was the original body. I bought an aftermarket body kit from my friend, and I bought the front bumper, side skirts, front fenders, rear bumper, trunk, and spoiler, and his car was silver. So all of those pieces were silver. The hood is silver, but it's plasti-dipped blue. The reason it was plasti-dipped blue was because he had kept that on his car for a while. The trunk was also blue. The trunk and spoiler were also blue. He had kept those on his car while he waited for his sponsors. He did some hot import night shows in the late 90s, early 2000s, and has a few sponsors. And so he received a Verus body kit for his Evo. So he had that on his Evo, plus dipped all of that blue, and he got carbon fiber hood and carbon fiber trunk lid from his sponsors. So the trunk lid and the hood were plasti dipped blue. The hood is still blue because it has body filler from hail damage, and if I pulled that plasti dip off, it would look like dump. So I'm leaving it on there for now. Doesn't hurt it. And honestly, it doesn't look that bad. So it's kind of a craze right now to have the fenders a different color and have the hood a different color sometimes too, especially on the Evos and STIs. The problem with my body kit is that the body's red, the front bumper and rear bumper and trunk are silver, the hood is blue. I have a clown car, basically. I've got a multicolored, crazy car that, it's not bad. turns heads. It gets a lot of looks. I've actually gotten a few compliments from some respectable looking cars. A couple of STs, 2 Focuses, 1 Fiesta. I've gotten a couple Genesis compliments as well, and it's been pretty nice. So some compliments, the people that really look closely at it say, wow, this looks kind of janky, and they're right, it does. It is kind of janky. So I need to paint it. I need to make sure that it's more sturdy, more stable. There's a gap in the rear bumper because the Evo body kit is originally wider. So I had to kind of I had to basically force the connection for the rear bumper in. So it doesn't look as clean and smooth as it could. So I'm going to try to figure out how to make it into sort of like a wide body panel. Okay, that was a long point. Long point. So the 4th thing that I liked about my Lancer is the technology. Everything I need, nothing that I don't. It's not too crazy, not too out of the water. Again, that's a good and a bad thing. So it's a bad thing because I want Bluetooth in my car. I don't want to spend $300 for it just to have Bluetooth in my car. It comes with a plug-in, so I can plug in an auxiliary cord, and that's not bad for me. But I would like to just be able to get in my car, push a button, and be able to play music. I'd like to be able to talk on the phone through my car too, because I'm military, and so on post, on any military installation, you are not allowed to use your phone while driving. I like to talk on the phone while I drive because it's kind of the only free time I get. There's a bird on my car. Do you see this? It's a bird tail. Oh, he took off. Okay. Back to where I was. So, I want to have Bluetooth in my car. I want to have the nice stuff in my car. I don't have any crazy speakers either. I kind of want to have an aftermarket system. I think the GTSs and the Evos have the option for the Rockford Fosgate sound system, and I don't really want to get one of those, but I would like to put in my own system. I like kicker systems, Pioneer head units. Like 2 of my other vehicles have Pioneer head units, and I love them. I've had Pioneer head units in the past. I've had Pioneer subwoofers. I've had kicker subwoofers, Pioneer and kicker speakers. I've had Alpine subwoofers. Well, 1 Alpine subwoofer, and I've enjoyed it. So it's not bad. I want to have a navigation system in my car. I don't have a navigation system, so I have to use my cell phone. Drains the battery. I can charge it while I drive, but still, it's more of the convenience factor. With the body kit that I bought for my friend, he actually left his fog lights attached to it. So I have fog lights on my car, which they didn't come with. So I had to kind of rig my own switch here. I'll even show you my my switch job. So I had to kind of wire my own switch into the car. The fuse panel already had a fuse for the fog lights, so I didn't even have to do anything to the fuse panel other than put in the new, other than attach the actual switch and wire the rest of it. So nothing too difficult. It was a simple job, simple, connect the wires, plug and play, very easy. So the technology, I've kind of given it more technology than what it had, a little bit. The last thing that I don't like about my car is the performance. So in my previous video, in the 5 things that I like about my Lancer, I kind of divulged into the kind of just dying acceleration. So it peaks torque, peak acceleration at about 4,000 RPMs, and at least that's what I feel like. And then it kind of just rides the rest of the way up, I think is the terms that I used. But it kind of just goes up a little bit. Doesn't really, it's not dynamic. Obviously it's not turbocharged, so it's not going to have the extra boost and the extra spool and the forced induction. It doesn't have any sort of forced induction. It doesn't have a high power, high anything else. Nothing crazy performance related either. Right now, I've done a K&N high flow, not even an intake filter. I did a drop-in filter, and I did an axle back exhaust. So nothing crazy yet. It's on the way. I'm looking at a few different places, mostly Road Race Motorsports. They've done a lot of work with the Lancer and the 4B11 platform, and the 4B12 too. And I really like the way that their stuff works. They've tested it. They've claimed to have dynoed all of it. They have turbo kits and stuff like that that come pre-tuned and everything like that. So they're tuned for the 4B11. It's not like going on eBay and buying a $500 turbo kit and then you're kind of just put it in and hope you don't blow your engine or fry anything in your car. They've truly tested, and everything is built specifically for the Lancer. There's not a lot of other shops that I've seen, or performance shops that I've seen, that do things for the lower models. They build these turbo kits for the Lancer ES and the GTs, the originally non-turboed platforms. Pretty much any other shop that I've looked at, like AMS Performance, pretty much any of them, they do stuff for the Evos to make the Evos better, but nobody really cares about us little guys, except for Road Race is what I've seen. So Road Race is awesome. I've been looking at a lot of their performance parts, and I'm just trying to save up money. They're not crazy expensive. There's a couple really good little less than $300 parts. Like I want to get one of their short shifters. They have a short shift kit for like $105. They have an aluminum crankshaft pulley. That's an easy 12 horsepower, I believe, is, if I did the math on that right, like 12.7 horsepower, something like that. And that takes like 20 minutes to install. They have pretty nice short ram intakes. They have ECMs. They have timing controls. They have, I think it's called split second timing control. So they have a lot of stuff that's good for the Lancers and about the Lancers, about the lower models. So that's the one thing that I don't like about my car, is that I don't have those performance items, and I don't have that kind of head start. I don't like the dead spot in the performance. My clutch is kind of jankety, almost feels like. It's very rough and very gruff. It doesn't really feel like it has a lot of hold anymore. I don't even have that many miles. I have less than 35,000 miles on my car, but it does grab quicker than I expect every once in a while. So it does kind of just lurch every once in a while. Not very often. I haven't lurched, like actually lurched forward and almost stalled out in about over a year. I've gotten used to it. The only thing that I don't like is that whenever I'm shifting out of the gear, I have to kind of slowly, very, very slowly let out the clutch. Otherwise, it'll grab fast. So it's a good thing. That's a bad thing. When I'm trying to drive with my wife, it's a bad thing because she gets frustrated with me and says, "Drive smoother, drive easier. You're making me nauseous." So that's the only quote-unquote performance, and one of the only quote-unquote performance issues I have. Everything else with the car has been very nice, very smooth. So that's the 5 things that I don't like about my 13 Lancer ES. It's a good little car. I had to work hard to find these 5 things that I hate or don't like. So I guess it's a good thing. I found a good car. I always look back at it whenever I walk away to see if she's looking back at me. Look at your car like it's a dream, like it's a project, and never be disappointed with your work. Always always look forward to the next idea, next project, next upgrade, next enhancement, next whatever you want to do to your car, next paint job, next set of wheels, next whatever you got. Keep moving in a good direction. Thanks. Y'all have a good one.